interesting. Hank Oppel, Bob Slocum on the call for JV White, Liberty Hill. I know the scoreboard's going to say Stony Point. We have it all queued up for the second game. JV Maroon will be playing Stony Point. 10-minute quarters here. Hank, what are you looking forward to? We've had a week off. What'd you do during your week off?
I watched the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies beat the ever-living crud out of LSU in their own home stadium. I watched Texas barely escape Starkville. I never thought I'd ever hear that in my lifetime, escape Starkville. But, I watched some good football. It was a nice week off from doing all this. Nice having fun. But I'm ready to get back and ready to get back in the swing of things. And hopefully the Dragons can make a play for the playoffs here. And it's also just good to see these young JV guys play. One of their last of, I think they have, one more week after this?
One more week. Again, Stony Point only fields one JV team, not as deep of a program as we have 5 miles away in Round Rock High School. So it'll be Liberty Hill, who the Dragons won the coin flip, deferred to the second half, so Liberty Hill will receive the kickoff here. We're going to try to bring you a little bit of instant replay.
There we go.
And we're about to start this one off. Well, will be returned. They're going to let it roll. Fielded at the 1. And he's drilled at the 9. There's a big hit. I've got to get my rosters out here still. 81 for your Dragons on the tackle.
This monitor is so old. That's not good. That's a DVI port.
Wow. 81. Levi Estrada with the tackle. Absolutely blew him up. I wish we had the instant replay ready for that one.
Well, do some.
So you talked about that Aggie game leads to the firing of Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was due. He didn't run the program into the ground, but it wasn't what LSU is supposed to be. Even, me being an Aggie fan, I still have an expectation for them. I expect LSU to be a perennial power in the world of college football, and they just weren't. And he didn't really do that at Notre Dame either. He had some good seasons, but no national championships, which is hard. It's very hard to do in sports in general. But I think it was the right thing. I think when you got a team come in there and just beat them like they did in their own stadium, after the season they're having, it's kind of the last resort.
Handoff goes for. He's going to be stood up at the line. It's going to be number 25 on the tackle for Round Rock. Aiden Paparaki. It's going to bring up a third down, and it looks like it's going to be about 3-yard lines. They have to get to the 20-yard line for the first down. Yeah, they've got to get to the 20 for the first down, Hank. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2 for the Panthers. Number 6 on the carry. He's going to get enough for the first down. Taken down by a horde of Dragons. On the bottom of the pile will be number 51. We don't have a 51 on our roster, so we'll have to find who that is. Again, a lot of movement this time of year with players moving up. The interesting thing we talk about Brian Kelly and LSU was, and I didn't realize this until this week, when he left Notre Dame, number 2 on the keeper, stood up and taken down. It's number 25 for the Dragons on the tackle. Aiden Paparaki getting his name called the second time. The interesting thing, when he left Notre Dame, Hank, and came down to Baton Rouge, Not a single assistant came with him.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's you look back at those old clips of him coaching at Notre Dame and him screaming at coordinators and screaming at assistants, and you can read his lips and you say, "What are we doing? You should know what we're doing. You are the one that's supposed to create the game plan and approve game plans. You should know." And you don't act like you don't have a headset on.
Yep.
Like down there, for people that don't know this at home, the head coach hears everything in that headset. The offensive coordinator talks to him. The defensive coordinator talks to him. The guys in the boxes talk to him. The assistant coaches will chime in there and they'll be like, "Hey, this is what I saw over here on this side," because there's different angles on the field. You can't say that what's going on when you're the head coach getting paid millions.
Yeah.
And so you saw that in LSU. I mean, they played okay the first half. I felt like A&M missed a lot of opportunities and made some mistakes. That second half, it just looked like he had no answer for anything that we were doing. Anything.
No, and it's funny. Mike McCarthy today was on a show and basically was saying that that's baloney. You don't make corrections. You don't make run up the middle. That's going to be enough for another Panther first down. Mike McCarthy, the old Cowboy, and won the Super Bowl, number 28 for the Panthers on the carry. We do not have numbers or a roster, I should say, for Liberty Hill. But McCarthy was saying that he didn't believe that coaches don't make adjustments at halftime. That's not true. Well, that's probably why he's out of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I think you look at like the great Sean Payton right now in the NFL, Andy Reid. The reason they win is they come out in the second half and dominate.
Yeah, they make the right adjustments. They figure out what's not working and what is. And, I mean, you have to. You have to make adjustments. There is no such thing as a perfect half of football.
Number 6 on the carry, and it's 44. Charlie Schmidt with the tackle.
And it's the teams that can look at, like let's say Ohio State. They dominate dang near every quarter of football they play. And Ryan Day is still able to figure out, like, hey, we got to work on this. Like, this is stuff that we need to get better at. We have to go out and improve in this. And they do.
Yep.
And that's why they win so many games. And it showed last year when they lost 2 games and then ended up winning the national championship.
Pitch out to number 4. Finds a seam, cuts it back, finally taken down. On the bottom of the pile for the Dragons, number 14, Corbin McLeod. But that's, it goes back to the old Draft Day movie with Kevin Costner, right? And Bo Callahan. Nobody went to his birthday party.
Nobody
right?
went to his birthday
when
party.
A coach leaves, we talk about retreads, right? You got a lot of good openings up right now. I think Brian Kelly really is damaged goods right now.
He's not going to coach for a minute. I think him and James Franklin aren't going to be coaching for a few years. I mean, those buyouts are nice and big, and you can do whatever you want.
Number 6 fumbles. The ball on the handoff, fumble wrapped up behind him. And that's amazing. He was able to corral the ball, literally rolled behind his back. Yeah, I think James Franklin does coach. And I'll tell you right now, I'll give you one opening. If I'm Arkansas, if I can't get John Gruden,
he would have some stability.
I'd get
100%.
James Franklin 100%, right? Because you look at the tiers, right? LSU's the top job right now.
Yeah, it goes LSU, Florida. Penn State, I'd go number 3. That's still a perennial program. I wouldn't quite say a blue blood, but they're still up there. They still recruit good talent. I'm trying to think what other jobs are open now. Oklahoma State with Mike Gundy. That's a long-term job that I never thought he would ever
Number
get fired
4
from.
Off left tackle. A great play. Open field tackle by number 2, Tristan Mancha.
And Mike Gundy was an old coach, and talk about an old offensive scheme here from Liberty Hill, man. I think you probably ran this back in the day. I mean, look at
No, we were a little more advanced than this.
I mean, look at this. I mean, so for context, Liberty Hill at the varsity level is always really good every year. They went to the state semis 2 years in a row running this offense. Good old triple option T.
Yep. This was the old Barry Switzer and national champion Oklahoma Sooners offense.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a long staple up
Yeah.
at Liberty Hill for many years when they were winning state championships.
Yeah, this is a little different version of the wishbone and the eye, and
No, we ran a power eye and or a pro set. A lot more pro set as I got older.
a little more spread.
Number 6 slices it up, cuts it outside, and he's finally going to be wrestled down. Number 4 on the tackle, Jack Jobis.
This doesn't really work without really good, exceptional offensive line play, and they're getting really good moving that puller, that backside tackle. You can see with the tight end coming and pulling, and he's able to get a really good running lane and dodge a few tackles for a good first down there. Stop an offense like this, you have to be on your stuff. The defensive line cannot get moved out of their gaps. There needs to be really good gap discipline here, and linebackers need to fill. And I mean, yeah, there we go.
Handoff goes to 28, and he's going to literally stroll into the end zone for a Liberty Hill touchdown. He made that one look easy.
Yeah, he kind of just skirted in there. I'm trying to replay it and see what went wrong here for the Dragons. See right here, he's going to hand off immediately. We just missed a few tackles. I don't even think the guys realized who had the ball, which is misdirection here.
Oh, nice tackle in the backfield for a loss. 55 for the Dragons on the tackle. That's going to be Briley Laxton Collins. And we'll be back after this message. From delivery day to every stage of womanhood, Dr. Marco Uribe is here for it all. Born in Laredo, trained at Yale, and trusted in Austin for over 20 years. Whether it's hormone therapy, surgery, or compassionate care, Dr. Uribe delivers more than medicine. He delivers confidence. To about the 37-yard line. Number 1, Simon Sylvain on the return. Return of 21 for Sylvain. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Yeah, we'll definitely have to bring the TV monitor tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We did add, thanks to Vista Wealth, Bob Tabor, we did add instant replay. We've got it playing tonight. Number 72 on the tackle at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be number 22 on the carry for the Dragons, Wesley Gultz, sophomore. Dragons will spread it out.
Say a little more modern of an offense here.
Low snap. Quick pass. Sylvain hit at the 39-yard line, driven back. All right, so here you go, Hank. Who in your prediction is going to be going to Florida?
Florida, I definitely could see that's hard. That is really hard because, I mean, obviously everyone's going to say Lane Kiffin, but I think there's a higher probability of him going to LSU than there is him going to Florida. LSU's got more resources and a better track record. Oh,
Pass intended receiver is
Number-
number 6,
hit him right in the foot. They were blocking, I guess, expecting a handoff.
Jalen Smith.
Out comes the punt team. But no, that's hard to say. I mean, because now in the state of college football, it's early success. It's success now. Success now.
Yep.
Because you're playing players and you might not have them for more than a year, and it's hard. It's hard to coach now, and I think Florida. I mean, if I'm them, I think you have to go as hard as you can for Lane.
But now, keep in mind, with the resources, Ole Miss is a nice college town.
They are a nice college town. It's Oxford, but I mean, my Ole Miss, they're a good football team. They've had good football teams, and Lane has definitely helped their program out. But they still don't have the resources that LSU or Florida have. You know, I mean, they're an SEC program. Don't get me wrong, and they make a lot. They bring in a lot of money, and they do really well for themselves over there in Oxford. But I mean, you got to think like Florida. I mean, they're a blue blood of college football, and LSU blue bloods of college football. And
I'm going to cut real quickly. Handoff off the number 6, cuts it back, and it's going to be 44 again. I apologize. I was reading off the wrong roster. Number 44 is Eli Clark. I was reading the Maroon team. Number 1 was Brody Lujan on the return. Quarterback here, Preston Branham. I apologize. As we wind down, 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. Liberty Hill 6, Round Rock 0. Oh, went a little bit too fast. That's going to be a false start called against Liberty Hill. That'll mark them back 5 yards. And that'll bring up a replay of second down. It should be now about 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. So interesting. Not that he needs the money,
no, he's got.
but
more
rumor
than
has
that.
it that they're making the offer to Nick Saban to try to bring him back to Baton Rouge.
The problem with that, the only way to get him to do that is if Miss Terry wants to do it. And Miss Terry, it looks like and she said it.
She is the secret weapon, 100%.
100%. And so she said it on live air and television. Just let the baby coaches have it. Kirby and Lane. Let them have fun with it. I think Nick is done. Of course, I think Nick would have more fun and do what he likes to do, just helping out Alabama. That's his pride and joy. That's his baby. We used to talk about Bear Bryant when we said Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bear Bryant's a big key, but it's Nick Saban. Nick Saban's the greatest coach to ever coach college football.
Yep.
You can make an argument for football in general, but I don't think that he would go back to LSU. I think he could help him out, obviously, like he'll give his knowledge, but I don't see him going back unless all of a sudden him and Miss Terry are like, yeah, let's coach again. And I just don't see that. I think he's liking the retired life of
He is. He's been very vocal on that.
not having to stress, and he's just up there having a fun time on college game day.
I think the exact quote that he gave was, "Will you please stop with these rumors before the numbers get so big that Miss Terry says yes?"
Yes, like it's.
But he was at $13 million, I believe, at Alabama. Not that he needs the money,
Oh no,
but I hear they're backing up the Brinks truck to try to get him and lure him out of retirement.
Obviously, yeah, they're going to try to throw everything they have at him, but I don't think you should put all your eggs in that basket, especially because he's been coaching for so long, and not that he's tired of it, but he let him retire. Let him.
Yep. Well, the problem though is if I'm LSU, I'm Florida. You got West Virginia. No, I'm sorry, Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
You got you mentioned earlier Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State. Yeah.
It's a tougher conference, but I think Fayetteville. I'm biased, right? Was just
I
up there this weekend for a game, and I think Auburn's going to open up with Hugh Freeze.
Oh, I mean, it pains me because that team is good. They're a quarterback away from being really good. They have a top 25 defense. They are
Auburn,
legit.
you're talking?
Auburn. They are
Yep.
legitimately a defensive way. I
Mhm.
mean, a quarterback away from being elite.
And
Elite.
Hugh finally put in, and he looked lights out.
Yeah.
Again, I was there, watched it this weekend in person, and the Stanford quarterback finally got in after a bad interception, pick six to end the half, and he looked good. He looked really good.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they do at the end of the season. Mike Norvell is probably going to get fired at FSU. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
up the seam by number 28 for Liberty Hill for a gain of around 6 or 7.
They're just slashing away here with this old wishbone.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting history of the wishbone, right? Barry Switzer, whose father was a bootlegger.
Was a bootlegger.
So Barry Switzer doesn't get enough credit. He's the one who broke the racial barrier in college football.
He did break the racial barrier.
He was one of the first to go recruit heavily. He grew up in a very mixed culture, and he realized his friends were great athletes. So when he became a coach, he started recruiting. Was one of the first to recruit into Oklahoma and
Yeah.
built a powerhouse up there. And then they were going to switch to a pass offense and recruited a Troy Aikman.
Good old Troy Aikman.
Troy broke his leg. They went back, and the guy went lights out.
Coach Moore.
Mute real quick.
Sorry, Coach Moore just sent us the white roster. He came up here to let us know about it. But yeah, Barry Switzer, father, not father of the wishbone, but some.
He made it great.
He did.
He made it famous.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I remember. I think it was. Well, he got it from DKR. That's where he got the wishbone from. But DKR got it from this guy, Emory Billard. That was one of his. I believe he was an assistant coach at Texas when he was with DK, and he was the one that came up with the wishbone offense by itself. And so they actually, before Barry was coach at Oklahoma, before he was the head coach, and Oklahoma fired their coach, and so Barry was like, "Can y'all help me out? You know, I want to be the head coach here. Can y'all give me something?" And so they ended up teaching him the wishbone offense, which ended up being Darrell K. Royal's biggest mistake ever, because then Barry did it better than he could.
Jackson Gold and 44 Eli Clark in on that tackle. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Liberty Hill.
You know where Emory Billard ended up getting his first his head coach offer? He went and coached at Texas A&M University.
There you go.
And he ended up beating Texas quite a few times with the same system that they had at Texas.
Number 6 on the carry. He's going to be wrestled down a yard shy of the 1st down. And Jackson Gold with the tackle.
So, but no, there's a quote by Barry Switzer that I really like, and it's funny. It was, even the kids in Texas deserve to play for a national championship, so they come to Oklahoma.
That is great.
So he was a very outspoken, vocal dude.
28 on the carry. That'll be enough for a 1st down. First to make contact there for the Dragons will be number 4, Rocco Duncan.
So I kind of ran a version of this when I coached my brother's 7-on-7 team. I ran a version of the wishbone-ish, because you're allowed to run in that league, but not tackle. It's flag. So you're allowed to hand the football off, and I ran a version of this. I ran an inside zone. I have a receiver coming out the back to maybe do an option, and I also had a post, a backside post, and so I would just tell them one of the 3, and they would run it. We ended up winning a few games off of it.
28 up the middle, fumbles the football, and that's going to be a Round Rock first down.
They're
Oh
saying
no,
he's
sorry,
down.
they're saying he's down. The
They're
umpire
saying
right
he's
there.
down, yeah. I even got lost there a little bit. I didn't even know who got the football.
Good thing we have instant replay.
Good thing we got instant replay. Let's see if I can take a look at it or not before they start another play. I don't know if we'll have time here.
Second quarter action brought to you by Austex Moving. Join us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. kickoff, as your Round Rock Dragons square up against Stony Point. We were talking about this earlier, Hank. Handoff, number 21. It's going to be number 2 and number 4 on the tackle, Kinu Masialek, and number 4, Rocco Duncan.
There's a flag on the play.
Rocco, I've got the best name in football.
They're going to call face mask on the offense. Wouldn't that technically just be hands to the face?
Yes.
Okay.
Typically, I didn't see where it happened. Typically, they'll be at the line of scrimmage or a corner on the receiver.
He threw it on the back side of the offensive line, so I'm guessing when they were moving and they were run blocking, he just got his hand up into a defensive lineman's face. He's very adamant about the call, so.
I will tell you that's one of those that when I was a referee and they came over and they said, I got a face mask on the offense. You always, what?
I think, yeah, you got to make the distinctions hand to the face. I feel like you got to make that distinction. Good old.
Handoff goes to 4.
I mean, how often do you see that when they're in a 4-point stance as a center?
And it's 44 on the tackle. Again, Eli Clark and number 7, Blake Smith.
I mean, 51. I mean, I think all of the offensive linemen are in a 4-point stance. We really are taking a blast of the past with running our plays in here. I mean, it's like we've gone back to the 50s. This is before headsets or sign open.
Big pass.
Almost
nearly
interception.
picked off. Number 2, Kinu Masalek had it.
It's a good job keeping his eyes in the right place and not falling for the fake.
He had that sideline.
He did. If he would have caught that, he would have been gone.
Now, as an official, when you're on the wing, you're supposed to be at the goal line when the runner with the ball reaches the goal line. So, I will tell you, when I was on the wing, I was doing a Stony Point game, varsity game, and I was watching that line. It was a linebacker, and he was fast. And I remember watching it just say, no, don't throw it, and the quarterback throw it. And I knew the guy was 5 yards deep in the end zone when he picked it. And I just turned around and went full as fast as I could go.
Flag on the field. Looks like I think it was a holding or a false start on the offense.
Back-to-back penalties will move them back to the 31-yard line.
That's a big risk, though, especially running an option or a pass here with Liberty Hill, as you've got so many of those big boys on the field.
Yep.
I mean, it's one of those corners or safeties gets their hands on the football. It's going to be hard to track him down. It's going to be your 1 or 2 receivers and your quarterback going after him. And off number 6.
You know, that was the difference. I mean, honestly, when I played, you had the pro set. Most quarterbacks were under center. You did do a couple of plays out of shotgun, but it was kind of like a couple of plays in your playbook, right? But you typically went either an I or a pro set or a T.
Mm-hmm.
Every team had a fullback.
I mean, they're mixing it up between the I and a T and a little bit of a wishbone there every now and then. Mostly T from them. But yeah, this is like watching SEC storied. You know, this is like watching those old ESPN. Like you'd find him on at 12:30 at night talking about some coach from the 50s. How he revolutionized the game.
Under pressure, number 4 with the hit fumble. Quarterback able to fall on the ball, but it's number 4, Rocco Duncan, with the quarterback sack and forced fumble.
Yeah, they're going to send a blitz here, and he's going to come off the edge unblocked, and he was looking to throw, hesitated, and able to strip the ball out from number 2. Luckily, he's able to get back onto it, but that's a great job on 4th down, getting pressure.
Turnover, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Dragons from the 22-yard line. Preston Branham, hand up the middle, bounces off a tackler, finally wrestled down by number 5. It's going to be number 22 for the Dragons, Jaden Kim on the carry.
I thought that was D'Altrimo.
22?
Yeah.
22 on this roster we just got Jaden Kim.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Number 2 in motion. Play action, swing pass out to number 2. Breaks a couple tackles and finally wrestled down right at the first down marker. That'll be enough for an Airco first down. Number 2 with the catch, Kinu Masalek.
I will say this Liberty Hill team is one of the better tackling teams that I've seen play. Liberty Hill has always been known for their physicality and how they play the game, so this is no new news from them. We do have an injury timeout.
And we'll be back in a minute. This Dragons broadcast is brought to you by River Rock Landscaping, where your yard becomes your favorite place to be. From custom designs to turf, irrigation, and outdoor living spaces, they turn ordinary into oasis. Locally owned.
And we're back.
Branham out of the shotgun. Play action, pass out to number 5, caught at the 40, hit immediately, able to hold on to the football is Ashton Alon. Pickup of 7, bring up a 2nd down and 3 out of the shotgun. Empty set. Branham rolling out to his left, buying time, airs it up out of bounds.
Tried to throw his player a jump ball there. Really well defended by number 23 for Liberty Hill. Shadow reach. I mean, at that ball, you're either make sure it's incomplete or come down with it.
Number 5, Ashton Alon, was the intended receiver. Preston Branham in at quarterback. Kim, the running back, to his left. Breaks 2 tackles. Takes 2 more guys, number 7 and number 5. He ran through number 51 and 72 at the line of scrimmage. They had him for a loss.
Dragons will call a timeout here with 55 seconds left in the second quarter. Some college games this week. The biggest one that I know of is Vanderbilt versus Texas here in Austin. Be your number 20 team versus number 9. Both not a must-win game for Vandy, but it would be a really good win for Vandy. And this is a must-win game for the Longhorns to stay in playoff territory. You've got the world's largest cocktail party with Florida and Georgia playing. And then another big game in the SEC is Oklahoma versus Tennessee. Both a must-win game for them, both at 6-2. This is to keep their season alive for the playoffs. And then another game, we got USC and Nebraska. Both a must-win, more must-win games for them. Both at 2 losses. And then another one in the Big 12's number 17 Cincinnati versus number 24 Utah. This is a must-win game for Utah to stay in the playoff consideration. So definitely kind of a drop-off for games from last week especially. We had a bunch of really good games last week.
Dragons going to go trips left, top of your screen. 1st and 10, 55 seconds left to play in the half. Branham steps up. He's going to tuck it and run. He's going to be taken down at about the 48-yard line. 41, 40, 39. Clock is running. Going to try to hurry it up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 5. Branham looking at 1. Checks down. He's going to tuck it and run again. This is going to be enough for a 1st down, and wisely gets out of bounds. We've talked about Preston Branham. He plays a lot older than a sophomore, a lot more mature, able to keep his eyes down the field when under pressure. On that one, had the wherewithal to know to get out of bounds with 22 seconds left in the half. Good job by the offensive line. That left side of the line anchored by 51 and 77. 51, Liam O'Connor. Quick snap throw to number 2. He's got the seam, and he's gone off to the races to the 5. Touchdown. Kinu Masalak with the touchdown.
I mean, right there, they really exploited the blitz that they were shown. I mean, if we look right here on the replay, you can see both linebackers come down, and he's wide open over the middle. It's the biggest fault when you blitz like that for so long. I mean, you leave the middle of the field wide open, and every offensive coach will tell you what's the best way to beat a blitz. Get the ball out as fast as you can, and they did.
Perfect throw. Perfect catch. Pick is up.
They get 7-6 Dragons with 13 seconds left on the clock in the half.
And the kick is good. Dragons going to take a 7-6 lead here. And it was number 47, Jose Madero Castranda with the kick. 13 seconds left to play here in the half.
Moving soon? Let Ostex Moving take the stress off your shoulders. Owned by a proud Round Rock Dragons alum, Ostex is your go-to team for fast, reliable, residential and commercial moves across Texas. From packing to unpacking, we handle it all, with expert care and same-day service available. Call Ostex Moving for a free quote today, and go Dragons.
The Wonderful Life, a play put on by the Dragon Theater, which shows remaining November 1st. You have tonight's show and then again on November 1st. $5 for students, $7 for adults. The final showing on November 1st. And our very own James Gumbert's daughter's in that play.
Oh, nice.
Kick is away. It's going to be a return. Fielded at the 5. To the 20. Finally wrestled down. Eight seconds left for Liberty Hill. Special thank you to our broadcast sponsors, Ostex Moving. Local Round Rock alum. The first quarter was brought to you by Dr. Marco Uribe, an Austin OBGYN and fertility specialist.
Liberty Hill will have 8 seconds to drive 70-ish yards down the field. I think it's be what, 78 yards down the field? Yeah.
Spread it out. Handoff up the belly. And that's a good open field tackle.
And they're just going to let the clock run out of the half. That'll be the first half of Round Rock versus Liberty Hill. 7-6 Round Rock leading.
And it was Thor Chapenko with the open field tackle. As we go to halftime, we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Moving soon? Let Ostex Moving take the stress off your shoulders. Owned by a proud Round Rock Dragons alum, Ostex is your go-to team for fast, reliable, residential and commercial moves across Texas. From packing to unpacking, we handle it all with expert care and same-day service available. Call Ostex Moving for a free quote today, and go Dragons. Moving soon? Let Ostex Moving take the stress off your shoulders. Owned by a proud Round Rock Dragons alum, Ostex is your go.
Third quarter action here from the VIA 313 booth, high above Dragons Stadium. Hank Oppel, Bob Slocum on the call as JV Maroon has pulled ahead of Liberty Hill here 7-6. I know the scoreboard says Tigers. It is set up for the next game as well as tomorrow night's game.
Dragons will play tomorrow night at Kelly Reeves Athletic Center. 7 o'clock or is it a 7:30 start?
7 o'clock kickoff.
7 o'clock kickoff.
Big district game matchup, right? There's about 4.5 miles between the Round Rock and the Stony Point campus.
I'll say, other than Westwood, this is really one of our bigger rivalries, the I-35 rivalry here.
And kickoff's away. It's going to be a short kick, fielded at the 26-yard line. Number 7 for Liberty Hill on the tackle. It's number 4 for your Dragons on the return. That's going to be Rocco Duncan. Third quarter action brought to you by Hughes Insurance Group, an independent broker able to shop and find you the best auto, home, commercial, or life insurance deal. Quick swing pass. Across the 35, driven out of bounds. It's Kinu Masalek on the reception. Picked up 4. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 for the Dragons. Third quarter action, 9 minutes, 30 seconds left with the clock running. Quick pass. Masalek with the catch. That'll be enough for a first down. Picked up 10 on the reception from Preston Branham. Low snap, hand off to Kim. He's going to cut it back and run through a couple. He kind of has that Scattaboo run style.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, none of our running backs are really scared of any sort of contact. I mean, that's just how Round Rock is taught to run. I mean, up until a few years ago, quarterbacks weren't even told to run out of bounds. So, just how we play football. Liberty Hill plays and matches that physicality most of the time.
Quick snap out to Masalek, cross the 45 to the 40. Good stiff arm there before being run out of bounds. At the 36-yard line, it'll be a 1st and 10 and another Airco first down.
He's able to get about a yard or maybe reach the line to gain.
Branham, quick pass out. Masalek with the catch at the 30, quickly taken down. No, not the friendliest of spots.
Wow, they spotted. Wow, there.
No, they moved it to the 30,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, but
Okay, moved it back up to where he was walking. I thought they were taking a yard away.
I'll say, wow.
That's going to bring up a second down and about 4. Kim up the middle.
He's going to try and move through the gap.
Picked up a yard on the carry.
What's the Liberty Hill mascot? They're the
Panthers.
Panthers.
This is the old school, not the new Legacy Ranch.
Are they even open yet?
They are.
They are.
I don't know how much of a high school they have, if it's kind of like that 2-year, you know.
Are they like a freshman center for now?
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised, you know, that they didn't keep that Westlake style of only one high school. Ball's up. Number 1 wide open. Caught at the 5. In for the touchdown. Brody Lujan with the touchdown. It's going to be a 36-yard pitch and catch from Branham to Lujan. Dragons pull ahead 13-6. Come out for the extra point here. Third quarter action, 5:45 left to play. They're going to go for 2. Branham, play action, quick pass out. That's going to be good for 2. Number 1, Brody Lujan with the touchdown and the 2-point conversion for your Round Rock Dragons. We'll be back in a minute.
Tonight's coverage of Round Rock Dragons football is brought to you by Hughes Insurance Group, your local independent insurance broker. Whether it's auto, home, commercial, or life insurance, Hughes works with dozens of top-rated companies to find you the perfect fit at the best price. No gimmicks, just real coverage tailored to you. Protect what matters most. Call Hughes Insurance Group today and score big.
We'll have about a 10-minute break, and then JV Maroon will dial it up against Stony Point. Stony Point only fielding one JV team this year. Ball's going to be fielded at the 14-yard line. Taken out to the 30. 31 officially. That'll be a 1st and 10 for the Panthers. So interesting district play, right? Stony Point, Round Rock tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at the Kelly Reeves, a.k.a. the Palace. The Dragons in the driver's seat to make the playoffs. They went out.
They went out there.
If they win out, they're in. It's Stony Point coming off a bye week. They're coming off a bye week. We've got Stony Point tomorrow night. And then week 7, we come back. We'll have coffee with coaches in the morning. On Friday the 7th, we'll have a 4:30 run up the middle is going to pick up a good 9 yards and bring up a 2nd and 1 for the Panthers. We'll have the Coffee with Coaches 7:30 in the morning from Lamppost Coffee House. The tailgate party will be 4:30 to 6:30 on the 7th. That's a week from tomorrow. And it'll be an exciting, I know it's going to be a packed stands. The Vipers, when they have their home games, they sell out of their 7,500 seat stadium in an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
Number 44 on the tackle for the Dragons, Eli Clark.
Your state winning program. I mean, that puts butts in seats, definitely.
Hutto suffered their first loss of the season.
To Vandergrift.
Ball is fumbled. I believe it's number 50 for the Panthers. Jumps on the fumble. Yes, he does. Recovers it. That's going to bring up a second down. Second down and 9 for Liberty Hill. 4:20 with the clock running.
So it looks like they fumbled right there at the give.
Handoff goes to 6. He's got a couple lead blockers. Breaks it to the 45, to the 40. Finally wrestled down at the 36-yard line. You had both number 14 and number 18, Cohen Buxton, and 18 is Thor Chapenko on the tackle for your Dragons. Little Halloween football tomorrow night.
Halloween football, man.
How does it feel to be in the booth instead of out trick-or-treating, Hank?
I don't think I was trick or treating when I was 17 years old, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I stopped trick or treating when I was like 15 years old.
I know you're at that tough age, Hank, where you're hitting young adulthood, and you're just 2 years removed from high school.
Yeah, it's kind of weird if I show up at a house, a costume, asking for candy. These adults will be like, hey, hey, man, these are for kids, dude. Like, you're not a kid no more, bro.
Number 4 slices his way up. He's gone off the 10 to the 5. Will trot in for a Liberty Hill touchdown. You know what I say? If a teen or young 20-year-old is out trick-or-treating with his friends, I'm going to give him candy. Seriously, all the power to it, man. You have your whole life to grow up. Might as well enjoy it a little bit. Got to have fun every once in a while. And they're going to bulldoze up the middle for the 2-point conversion.
And that should put them a point behind the Dragons. Currently 15 Dragons to 14 Liberty Hill. 2:55 left in the third quarter.
And we'll be back in a minute.
This Dragons broadcast is brought to you by River Rock Landscaping, where your yard becomes your favorite place to be. From custom designs to turf, irrigation, and outdoor living spaces, they turn ordinary into oasis. Locally owned, proudly Round Rock. Call River Rock Landscaping or visit rrlltx.com to start your dream yard today.
From the VIA 313 booth high above Dragon Stadium, JV White 15, Liberty Hill Panthers 14. With 2:55 left to play in the third quarter. Kick is away. Going to be fielded at the 21-yard line. And number 4 loses the football, and that's going to be recovered by Liberty Hill. Run up the middle. Met by half the defensive line and linebacking unit. Second down. Isn't it hard to tell? I mean, it's about 5.
2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 around
Yeah,
there.
it's right kind of in the middle.
And they're going to blow this one dead. Probably a false start. Yeah.
You don't see this very often. They literally have the chain set up like at a half line. It's
Yeah.
at like the 31 and a half. Run up the middle. It's going to pick up 3. They're going to give him forward progress at the 23-yard line. A lot more hoodies and blankets in the stands tonight.
Yeah, it's just cold front really swept through here in Central Texas. We're not ready for it. We're used to 90 degrees.
Pitch out to number 4. And he's going to be driven back just about a yard shy of the first down. They're going to officially mark him at the 20. So that's going to bring up a 4th and about a yard and a half. And they'll keep the offense on the field. You know we were talking earlier about this college game, right? And the hiring. There aren't many candidates that I really like.
Yeah, I mean, there's a crowd talking about Elko going to Penn State because he's a Penn guy. I personally don't think that the Penn State job is better than the A&M job. I think I think if anything, A&M's got more resources, and I think that program, you're losing a bunch of recruits, and I think it's not worth it for him to go. Even if he is from Pennsylvania, I could definitely see a coaching change in the Big Ten. One of those schools going over. Matt Rule just signed an extension, though. So
Interesting, yeah. And you know what? I mean, he had the success at Baylor. He really has not had very much success since.
Nebraska, he does okay, but then he plays good teams. Like last year, he played a good Penn State team. Got the crap beat out of him. You play Indiana, get the crap beat out of you. Like, he's good, but it's nothing like he has these ranked teams and they're really doing a good job. You know what I mean? They're always middle of the pack.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing that really. Okay, John Gruden is on the top of my list.
I would
right
love
now.
John Gruden to get the Florida job.
And I want him in Fayetteville. I want him at the Razorbacks.
I could see him in Fayetteville, but I think Florida.
So if you think about it, right, Arkansas, you do have a little bit of recruiting up in that area, but it's saturated, right? Because you got to get down into Texas. You got to get into Louisiana.
You got to get in the surrounding states.
Exactly. So someone like him could be like back when the Aggies moved over to the SEC. Mm-hmm. It gave them the advantage.
Yeah.
I think John Gruden excites me.
I love John Gruden.
He's one that excites me. But, Lane Kiffin, if I'm Lane Kiffin, yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, they have the means at LSU. They put the roster out. But you got a great thing at Ole Miss. Your family's happy. You got a good relationship with your daughter. You're in a good place in life.
I'm going to say, he's finally built that program up to be a contender.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've always had some decent talent there. Eli Manning went there. I mean, they always have had a decent team, but this is the first time you're finally seeing them compete with the big dogs. Like, they went and beat LSU. They took Georgia to a very close game.
Handoff 28 up the belly, and that line is just pulverizing forward.
Mm-hmm.
You had number 44, 55, and 4 on the play here. 44, Eli Clark was on the first one to make contact. You know, we talk about the trenches here. I think this running offense for Liberty Hill's done a good job in the trenches. There's been a lot of bend, but no break. I mean, it's a turnover that's giving him the scoring opportunity. 28's going to barrel his way ahead for Liberty Hill touchdown.
The offense is going to stay out there. You know, I could definitely see Gruden going to Arkansas, but I could also really see Florida trying to get him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if I'm
I could see the Bills head coach going down.
Joe Brady,
Joe
the
Brady.
offensive coordinator.
Apparently, he's in the talks for Florida,
LSU.
LSU and Florida.
Well, he was the OC
Mhm.
when they won back with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson.
It's the easiest offense to call. Hey, throw it to one of those guys, Joe.
28 with
He's
the
gonna
carry for the
walk it in
2-point
there.
untouched.
That
And
will
we'll be
ma-
back after this break.
Tonight's coverage of Round Rock Dragons football is brought to you by Hughes Insurance Group, your local, independent insurance broker. Whether it's auto, home, commercial, or life insurance, Hughes works with dozens of top-rated companies to find you the perfect fit at the best price. No gimmicks, just real coverage tailored to you. Protect what matters most. Call Hughes Insurance Group today and score big.
And we're back to start. Be 9:15 left in the fourth quarter. Currently, Dragons down 22-15 to the Liberty Hill Panthers.
You got number 1, Brody Lujan, and number 14, Cohen Buxton, back deep. And
Ooh.
out of bounds, Lujan.
Should not have fielded that. Should have just let that go out of bounds. Get the flag.
It'll be 1st and 10 for your Dragons.
Don't know why you would have fielded that. Maybe he thought he would have gotten a return.
Yeah, so I mean the other one. So if I'm the AD at Arkansas, John Gurdon's number 1 on my list. You're gonna think I'm nuts. James Franklin's number 2.
Yeah, I mean, he could come definitely. I mean, obviously he's had his failures, but to just give your program some stability, some decent
Yep.
years. You know what I mean? Arkansas has been at the bottom of the SEC for a minute.
I mean, it's back when I moved here. Handoff. Hit immediately, able to fight. It's about a yard loss on the play. Him on the carry.
And I mean, they would be ranked for a minute, and then they'd lose to A&M, and then they would be unranked somehow. And it, like some of my fondest A&M memories are of them playing Arkansas at Jerry World.
Yeah, no, but go before that, right? When I moved here, R.C. Slocum was the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in the paper was talking about getting rid of him, fire the guy. And I've always said, be careful what you wish for. A&M fired R.C. Slocum because he was only winning 10 games a year. And until Johnny Manziel came along, and it had nothing to do with Sumlin.
Yeah.
And
nothing to do with-
Sumlin rode that gravy train.
He got so lucky with the teams he got. I mean, he had Johnny, Mike Evans,
Yeah.
Miles Garrett. I mean,
Yeah.
This is a great
Hall of
team.
Famers.
Great,
Hall of Famers.
great,
Multiple Hall of Famers.
like best college football players to ever touch a field. And I mean, he did okay. And then you bring in Jimbo, and Jimbo does what Jimbo did. He wasn't ready for SEC play. He just wasn't ready for that level of physicality. And I mean, you could say he rode the Jameis Winston train. I mean, Jameis
Yeah.
was unbelievable his Heisman year when they won the Natty.
Yep.
So
But I think when it's all said and done, right? So a school like Arkansas, you get if you can get a Gruden or a James Franklin to give you those 10 wins a year.
just stability.
Exactly. I like that. That's a good.
You
That's a
need
good take.
stability. There needs to be a standard. And that's what I love about Mike is that this is the standard. It's not changing. Our goal is to not just win 10 games. Our goal is to beat everybody. Doesn't matter who they are.
Handoff goes 23, cuts it back, breaks a couple of tackles,
Keeps going. Stays on his feet.
and they're going to move the line
And he's still
up to
going.
the almost 30-yard line. What a run. He was hit in the backfield at the, what was that, the 14-yard line, and he's going to take it all the way out to the 28, 29. That'll be a 15-yard carry by number 23, Cole Chavez on the carry.
I think if Gruden goes, he's going to have his fair share of bumps, though. Coming
Of
back to
course.
coaching after a few years, you're not going to have the talent that everyone else has, especially starting off.
Handoff. Chavez tries to cut out to the right. He's hit in the backfield, able to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
And I could definitely see him keeping Bobby Petrino if one of them come as their offensive play caller, because he is a good offensive play caller. He was at A&M calling plays, did a good job at Arkansas when he was their head coach, and he still did a good job this year with Taylor Green. So, I mean, it's not like he's a bad football coach. I just don't know if they want to put him to be the head coach again at Arkansas after what happened.
Yeah, and well, you also look at the last 4 games.
Mhm.
And granted, he lost, but
They're close.
that Auburn was a very winnable game. And that, yes, they are close. The team's still fighting and playing.
They're playing. It's like they're one-score games. I mean, A&M was a 3-point game. Tennessee was a 3-point game. Just got to get that
Random
defense.
back to pass under pressure. He's going to flip it out through the hands. Was a tough catch. Was in double coverage. Was really a perfect pass. Nathan Hung unable to pull it in. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
I could see some like G5 coaches though coming up and taking the spots of those SEC coaches.
There's a few names that are out there.
What, John Summerall
Yep.
from Tulane? Like I bet you he would love to go to coach LSU or Florida. I mean,
Matthew Carpenter's name. Matt Carpenter keeps coming up. Number 3. Oh, great job by Branham getting rid of the ball. Number 5 was the intended receiver, Ashton Alon, but that was more of a throwaway than anything else. We got 6:35 left to play in the 4th quarter. Your Dragons trailing in this one, 22-15.
with 6:35 left in the fourth quarter, it's going to be 4th and long.
It was a fumble recovered by the Panthers on a kickoff. Gave them very favorable. All in all, the defense has done a great job.
Well, you see they're not letting the AD at LSU hire the next coach.
That's concerning. Number one, I don't like a governor getting involved and inserting himself.
Dude, the LSU man, the Louisiana, that's
You know?
football is what they care about over there. If you don't, it's championship or bust over there, man.
And well, I mean, hey, they give him all the resources. You've got a team. I just don't like politicians getting involved.
Yeah.
Under pressure, Branham's going to roll out to his right, puts it up. Oh, that's a perfect
Off his
pass.
hands.
Oh, Chavez is going to wish he had that one back.
That would have been a first down for the Dragons, and it'll be a turnover.
But again, talk about poise
Just evading defensive linemen and still looking downfield and looking for open targets.
and really threw 2 perfect passes on that series. They were incomplete, but really he put them right in the hands of his receivers. Handoff goes to 4. And number 14 steps up with a big hit for the Dragons. That's Cohen Buxton. They got some cool names.
$1.
Cohen
Yeah.
Buxton, Rocco Duncan. Then again, my name's Bob.
I mean, honestly, could you see Drinkowitz leaving Missouri for Florida?
What's that?
Drink from Missouri, Eli.
I could.
I could see him going to
I-
Florida LSU if they pursue him.
But does that excite you? Like, as a
Well,
fan base for Florida?
Obviously, it doesn't. But like stability,
28, handoff up the middle.
stability. Like these guys will make the programs better. You know it. He did it with Missouri, a way less underpowered program. Give him resources for Florida. I mean, I think it's a smart coaching hire. I think to get those guys that like will give you stability and will give you results, not the highest flashy ones.
All right, here we go. Handoff 28 up the middle. And going to the chat room, Green Flash, thanks for tuning in. So I'm not understanding, is this Zach Detremont? Is he in the game? Is he the 22? Because the roster I had Kim. So again, if I got that wrong or we got that wrong, we apologize. But again, Uncle Tony from Honolulu, Green Flash out there. I love it.
So what I'm hearing is that Detremont isn't in. So
Yeah, now it's Chavez was in most recently.
So no, but like I think he's saying that we'll see him tomorrow in number 22
Oh, gotcha.
due to some injuries. Or will he be on
Maybe JV Maroon.
AV
too.
Maroons?
He
We
could
might
be
see
JV
him.
Maroon.
Okay.
But thanks for tuning in. 336, 22-15. Yeah, we got to get this podcast up and running so we can take it out of the booth and into onto a podcast. This is literally what I think about all day. More NFL than college, but
I just think about NFL. I mean,
love NFL.
I like watching the NFL. I watch my Cowboys, but I could legitimately watch almost every college game. Other than the Big Ten, because the Big Ten's boring. It's just Ohio State and Oregon and Indiana versus everybody else. You can fight me on that. SEC bias me. And Liberty Hill will get in with the score here.
Dive up the middle.
Give themselves a lead with 2:59. A bigger lead. Right now it'll be 28-15 Liberty Hill. Ball comes out. Don't know if he crossed the line or not.
Looking for a signal. I'm waiting for them to update the scoreboard. We couldn't really see
I
the signal
I don't
here.
think they got the 2 point.
I think it's going to remain 28-15.
Still going to be a 2 possession lead for the Panthers as we enter the final minutes of the fourth quarter. So if he got,
And that's a good, so quick update. So 22, we do not call out any players, any injuries. And normally we try to get the camera off. But 22 did come out of the game. Good news is we're hearing it's just a cramp.
it's just a cramp, yeah. So if he got called up, So this is not. I played all levels of JV football here at Round Rock.
Yeah.
You would get called up to JV Maroon.
Yep.
They'll never put a freshman on JV. That's just something they don't do here at Round
Yep.
Rock. I mean, the only player that I've ever known to do that was Colin Sullivan, who went straight to varsity.
Yep.
So if he got called up, is he getting called up from JV White to JV Maroon, or
Fielded at the 19, cross the 20, looking for a seam, finds it to the 40.
he's gonna
Nice return.
he's going to get knocked down at around the 42, actually, yeah, 42, 43 yard line.
Brody Lujan, nice return there. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left. Give a little bit of life to the Dragons.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he's playing here. Detremont.
Tremont. Okay, so
I love that kid.
he is a good kid. Yeah, I love
But,
watching
and you
him
said
play.
it in the beginning because that's who you thought it was.
That's who
in
I
the very
thought it was.
beginning.
I was like, that. It
We
looks
call
like
him
him.
Scatterboo.
I'll say it looks like
And
him.
that's a compliment.
It is a compliment.
Quick swing pass. Crossed the 45 and slung back.
Good tackle by number 4 on the outside.
Lujan with the catch.
Dragons want anything to be in this game. They really got to score now. Try to get the ball back.
Branham is going to sling it out. Number 80 with the catch. Hong is going to break a couple of tackles and fight his way across the 40 to the 38-yard line, 216. Going up tempo here. Branham looks left, comes back to his right, flips it out.
Ooh, just a little bit low. That's a hard throw to make on cross body. That post.
Lujan, the intended receiver.
Good thing though, it does stop the clock. So it'll be second and long here for the Dragons with 1:55 left to go in the fourth.
Join us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock kickoff, as your Round Rock Dragons square off at Kelly Reeves Stadium against the Stony Point Tigers. From where we're sitting in the booth, we're looking at the lights of Stony Point High School. Rolls out to his left. Branham keeps his eyes downfield. He's going to air it out.
Wide open.
He's got him, number 2.
Oh, ball comes out. They're going to call incomplete. That was a great hit
Number
by
2.
the safety. Number 4. Number 1.
Number 2, Kisu Masalak with the catch, and he got popped as soon as he caught it. It was ball was up in the air for a little while.
Yeah, I think Branham thought he had a little more time. That safety really got over there and really let one loose.
I agree with you, Susie Johnson. That is the offense I like to see this Dragon team play. Quick pass, flips it out.
It's going to be just off the mark.
I know in our last Coffee with Coaches, which is up on our page, we interviewed Coach Tenney, the offense coordinator, and obviously they run. I mean, my youngest son goes to Walsh Middle School. They run the same, like a simplified version of this offense, and what a job he's done with the quarterback, that quarterback room, the development, right? Obviously, we know we've got Jack Oppel, Dove Stickler in that room, but you look here, you've got, Duarte is one that jumps out on the freshman team. Preston Branham's been outstanding. Eyes downfield, under pressure, trying to buy time, spins out of a couple. He's going to air it out.
Just over his head. And that will be a turnover on downs. Branham did all he could to keep that play alive. Be a turnover on downs. 1:29 left in the fourth quarter. Dragons have got to get a stop, and they want any part in this game.
But Susie Johnson, Nana in Florida. I want to say you were in Fort Myers from the last game, if I remember correctly.
Florida.
But yeah, no, I agree. It's really exciting here. The Dragons, how they've opened up their offense. We got a little entertainment in here as a moth is flying around.
Didn't know he was in here, but I guess he settled down.
129 left to play in the fourth quarter. Your JV White Round Rock Dragons trailing this one 28-15.
And they're going to kneel it out with 120. I guess, are we out of timeouts? I didn't realize that.
Speaking of Coach Tenney, he is down on the field. It's one of the things I love with the culture that we have here. The varsity coaches at all levels.
Well, he was the one calling plays earlier on
Yeah.
this last few drives.
And he's got to be excited looking ahead the next couple of years, right? I mean, you got next year Dove Stickler in the driver's seat. You got a really good Charlie McDonald.
I expect Charlie to challenge for the job, especially.
I do too. He can spin it. I mean, he's the one that jumped out the first spring practice I came to. I was like, wow, who's this kid?
So I definitely expect a QB battle in the spring. And that will be the ball game.
And we'll be back. I'm going to start a new stream for the second game. So we will be back after this.
Final score 15-28 Liberty Hill.